Hello everybody, it's Friday night and it is time for the Weekender once again. We've a packed show of fantasy fun and games for you this week as I check out what could be the Baby Yoda of Panathor with Splish and the lovely new Kings of War Champions box. Justin has a look at some 10mm dwarves and cheeky gremlins are all over ArcWorlde as Ben takes a look at their latest Kickstarter. On top of that, we also have a £50 voucher from Wayland Games for one commenter below this video here on YouTube. Just pop anything you want down below. Now, sit back, relax, because your weekend starts here. Hello everybody and welcome to the Weekender. I'm joined once again by Justin and Ben.
Hello! Good morning.
Yeah, it changes every time now.
It does. So. It's good. I like it. Variety is the spice of life, they tell me.
Yeah, at some point it's just going to be a horn. I'm just going to blow a horn.
Yeah, big Carrington.
Yeah.
Just point your camera out your window. Yes. You're up on the first floor, aren't you? And then just do it through the window. You see that appearing. Handy for Visigoths as well.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be all good in the hood. We've got another fun-filled week.
We do. Lots of cool stuff.
There's some basically cool stuff. I don't know if we'll get to all the cool stuff.
We might not get to all of it.
We'll see. Time
see
will
how
tell.
long we talk about things.
This is true.
Yeah. Well, before we dive in, the Assassin's Creed Animus has launched now, and I am like, my bank account.
Well, you can get excited about that in about half an hour, Justice.
when we look at that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Myself and Shay had a little game of Bricks Krieg this week.
You did?
Yes.
So look out for that coming up in the not-too-distant future.
Yeah.
As we were having all the fun of going, Tiny Ben. Look at them. Look at them, Shay. Why are all your men edging towards me sideways, Shay? What do you mean?
The crab attack.
Turn them around. Long way base first. All the stuff was coming at me like a French column of attack like that. Going, turn around like that. Go, what? I thought those were the guns and they were holding them all their side. No, they're holding them in front of them. That's a backpack, Shay. Can't you see the highly detailed miniatures here? And by that, I mean a 4-piece Lego brick thing. Yeah. So,
very cool.
It's all about the imagination. Imagination. I even got hills on that table. I was so impressed.
Yeah,
very nice.
I saw it. It was a rather lovely old school looking table.
Yeah, didn't get to use.
And for those who haven't seen it, we also had another Let's Play for Flashpoint, Halo Flashpoint out this week as well. It was Brutes on
Gerald
Brutes.
Hanna.
Yeah, the Gerald Hanna.
Yes, very
Jerry Handles. Yeah.
Space apes.
Yes. Be cool.
It's all the space ape all the time.
Yes. Shay was once again a terrible person.
Wow.
Was he?
Well, he went after you.
Yeah, to be fair, I was going after him as well. It was hot ape on ape action in the middle of that arena. Like two stakes slapping together. Thwack.
Get that mental image out of your head.
Don't worry about
it. No. Jerry's terrible for that. The worst is the earworms around Christmas.
Oh, joy.
Like pennies.
Oh, God, no!
I don't know what you mean. But we'll have to wait and see what happens in the future. Who knows? Maybe there'll be some Spartan on Space Ape.
Ooh. I say.
And by that, I mean there will 100% be Spartan on Space Ape because we've already played that game. Yeah. But I don't know when it's going to go. So keep your eyes out, folks. Be lucky. There's a peek behind the curtain for you. Right. I think we should get on with some news.
Coming to you from the center of Northwestern Europe. Covering board games, war games, card games, and all that you love. It's the news.
Okay then, our first bit of news is the comic book edition of Star Wars Crisis Protocol.
Yes. So the folks over at Atomic Mass Games are taking some leaves out of the Star Wars Legion book, I suppose, and putting together some new thematic starter sets for those people who want to dive into playing Marvel Crisis Protocol. So they already have a starter set for the game, which is Earth Mightiest Core set, which you can get your hands on. Comes with a whole bunch of the sort of classic characters that they had from the original. So you've got things like Captain America, Captain Marvel, Dr. Octopus, all that kind of thing. Ultron, etc., etc. But obviously that is a big chunking set of stuff with terrain and everything thrown in there as well. These are new, slightly smaller themed starter sets. And we have 2 of them to choose from that are coming out around October time. So you've not got too long to wait when it comes to these. The first of them is the X-Men starter set. Oh, all my 90s dreams. Which comes with some of the most sought-after miniatures in the game, because I still couldn't buy Wolverine for an entire year. That's how much
now you get everybody else with Wolverine.
Now you get everyone else
with
a
bonus.
So, yes. So this is the X-Men themed starter set. Comes with miniatures for both the Uncanny X-Men and the Brotherhood of Mutants. On the X-Men side of things, we have Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, Beast, Rogue, and Gambit. So that collects together 3 different sets into one to give you everything that you need for your affiliation. It's got some of the slightly older miniatures when you've got things like Wolverine, Cyclops, Beast, Storm in there, and then some of the newer miniatures in there, which is Rogue and Gambit. Oh, yeah.
They've made the worst version of Beast, though. That model comes with Beast reading a book as an option, which is how I built it and painted it for the studio.
From the intro to the 90s TV show. Yeah.
And yet they've decided to give him shake an angry fist at God.
That's the Kelsey Grammer version.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I thought he was just doing Shakespeare in the Park.
Against them, or with them, potentially, we also have the Brotherhood of Mutants. So you've got the box set, which includes Magneto, Toad, Mystique, and Sabretooth. Now, what's quite nice about this one is that it gives you essentially everything that you'd need for 2 people to start playing the game, because you could just split this right down the middle. Yes, I know that if you are actually playing Marvel Crisis Protocol, you bring a lot more miniatures to the table, and then you choose from that what you're going to use in your games. But essentially, if you were starting out, you could split this right down the middle, have the X-Men going up against the Brotherhood of Mutants, and just have a bit of a bash on the tabletop. Obviously, because they all share the mutant gene essentially amongst them, quite literally. You could have these folks working together and all that kind of thing as well, because Marvel Crisis Protocol allows you to mix and match whatever you like, just like Shatterpoint if you played that as a game. In addition to having all of the miniatures in there, you also get all of the gubbins. So you get your measuring tools, your dice, your tokens, you get all of your cards, your updated stack cards as well for all the characters. So that's going to be a nice bonus for people to dive into and pick up. The rules for Marvel Crisis Protocol are available online, so you simply just need to go and grab the PDF for that, or just go and grab a rule book from somewhere. I'm sure you can find it elsewhere. Someone will probably sell it on eBay. And you can dive in and have some fun with that, and play out all those 90s cartoon action moments on the tabletop, which is exactly what I'll be doing, because I'm definitely buying this set. It has been decreed. So that's what you get for the X-Men side of things. If you prefer Spider-Mans, then you can get the Spider-Foes. So this is another starter set that's coming out, another thematic one. This one brings together pretty much the entire Rogues gallery of Spider-Foes from, once again, the 90s cartoon and, of course, the comic books. So in this set, you're going to get a whole host of additional characters you play around with. So you have the likes of Green Goblin, Mysterio, absolutely love that model, Kraven, Rhino, Electro, and Vulture there as well, in that sort of classic green jumpsuit, which I always love. Just an old man flying around in a jumpsuit.
Well, he told you to get off his lawn. You didn't listen.
Yeah, and now you get picked up and thrown into the air. Very true.
And now you're off his lawn.
Yeah, and this again is a little bit of a mix of some of the older and newer sculpts. So things like Green Goblin's a little bit more of an older sculpt in that one. Same with Rhino, but then you also have Kraven in there, who's a much newer one. And Mysterio, absolutely love the Mysterio model. Absolutely cool.
Seen somebody painting him up using high chrome metallic paint.
Yes. Yeah.
It looked like somebody had just drilled it out and put a stainless steel ball bearing in. It was so mirrored.
I like that.
Yeah.
I want someone to do it as a goldfish bowl from one of the old Spider-Man video games where they had that as like a little Easter egg, which is quite fun with the little fish swimming around.
Just swimming around.
Yeah. On the other side of this, you've got even more rogues. If you dive into, so you've got Carnage, you've got Shocker. That's a terrible name. Shocker, the Lizard, and obviously Sandman there as well, which is really cool. And again, a nice mixture of some of the older and newer miniatures, especially when it comes to those connection points. It took me about an hour to work out how to glue Lizard to his water, but I did it.
Well done.
I will say, no venom.
Well, interestingly, I'll get to that in a second. So this comes with all of the spider foes. So this is absolutely perfect for somebody who's diving in themselves to get their hands on not just a handful of miniatures, but pretty much all the miniatures that you need for running the Spider Foes affiliation on the tabletop. So this is great for you to kind of mix and match, play around with when you bring all your models to the tabletop, choose between them as and when what you're fighting, and sort of drop them onto the tabletop and have some fun. You get, of course, all of the measuring devices and everything else in there as well. So it's another big packed themed pack. On the note of Spider-Man and his friends, including Venom, because sometimes he's a good guy, are included as part of the Web Warriors affiliation pack, which is also available separately at the moment. They are also doing some new stuff on that front too as well. So if you do want Venom and Miles Morales and Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy and all that kind of thing, you can get your hands on that affiliation pack separately. Obviously it doesn't come with all of the bits and bobs, but there we go.
That Venom.
Yeah. Yes, that Venom. I've got my Venom up there. He's cool.
Where's your Venom, Justin?
I don't have one. But no, my favorite version of Venom is always going to be the Tom Hardy one now.
I actually quite like the first movie. The other two, I'm meh. But I actually think the first movie is actually quite good nowadays. I don't imagine he'll ever be in the MCU ever again, but there we go.
Well, I mean, after The Last Dance, didn't he get teleported back to his own reality again?
Yeah. So I think Marvel are probably done with the timey-wimey stuff at the moment.
You hope.
Yeah. But there we go. So two very, very nice themed start sets for people to dive into playing Marvel Crisis Protocol with. There are a few more awesome things coming down the corridor as well. So if you do like Spider-Man, keep an eye out. We'll talk about that in another show. Yeah.
Fancy smancy. I do like the fact that they've done those where it's essentially a one-stop shop.
Yes.
Here is everything. Tools, widgets, dice, cards, and the full 10 you need.
Yes.
Which is sort of your drafting board that you would take whenever you're playing is
for
10
your
models.
affiliation.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice. And it's nice to see the Shocker in there.
Shocker.
He did actually appear in the Homecoming movie.
He did, yes.
Yep.
He's not named, but he is. I think he's in the credits. You see him, but he is there with his two shocking power fistings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For all the fisting goodness.
I will say, I would assume we're going to be seeing Atomic Mass doing more of these. There are lots of other groups, obviously, for Marvel Crisis Protocol that they could bring together.
Yeah.
I would think we're probably going to see one done for the Asgardian side of things. The Guardians of the Galaxy probably going to get one as well, I would think, because there's lots and lots of miniatures for that one that you could throw into that.
I mean,
that
Avengers would be a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, they already do a lot of the Avengers as part of the core set, but, bringing things like Hulk and stuff together into one core set, in one starter set, could be a cool idea. So, yeah, very nice.
Oh,
Time
clever.
will tell, I suppose.
Yeah.
See what they get up to. See what weird and wacky stuff appears. Maybe they'll do the Defenders.
Maybe.
I mean, they've got Cage, they've got Punisher, they've got Daredevil.
Yeah.
They could do the
Did
Defenders.
they do with Jessica Jones in the end?
I've not seen Jessica.
No. Yeah.
However, it would be worth it.
It would.
Just to have.
Don't they have
just
quite
to
a
have
few of the
them all
Inhumans
kicking
as well?
They have the Inhumans. They were
have
some of the newer
Inhumans,
sets. Yeah.
That could be fun.
So, yeah. I mean, over the years, pretty much everybody has been in a team with everybody else at some stage.
Yeah.
So they could really go nuts with this down the line when they get really bored. But what if we put this team together? They existed for half an issue 35 years ago. Sure, why not?
There were like 5 pages. That's enough.
Yeah.
It's the way to go.
Mhm.
Right. Speaking of things that existed years ago, Mantic have got the latest Champions box up for pre-order, containing the world's most lovable little axolotl fellow. He is the slimiest, the funniest, the greatest in the world. He's Axel Tricklebrook. Now, this company box, like all the other ones, is self-contained, 100% everything you need to play the Trident realm on the tabletop in Kings of War Champions. You can obviously then expand it into a full Kings of War army if you so desire. But if you don't, if you just want to be one and done, you can. Just stick with this. Completely new race for Panathor / Trident Realms. However, the backstory is these guys were a lot more prevalent 1,000 odd years ago during the War with Winter, though. Being very susceptible to the cold, they were mostly dying off. And so they fled. The last few remaining Gilkin were sent off to hide wherever they could find warmth and hopefully not freeze into popsicles. So even though he's a fresh-faced young cub, as far as wizardry goes, he's at least 1,000 years old. Okay. I'm not sure if he's been kept alive through his magic or if they are naturally just incredibly long-lived. The tiny little water mantle on his shoulder is called Splish.
I have never seen such a look of murderous joy in all my life. It's horrifying.
I'm going to kill you.
He could be a healer type. You don't know. Time will tell. The box contains, like I say, everything you need to play. So it has the game cards, although obviously the backstory is in the rulebook for Kings of War Champions itself. It also comes with a troop of Naiad piercers and a troop of everybody's favorite River Guard as well, along with a Dam Buster, which is the Mahuti frog on frog, which is how you deal with things here.
I really like the pose for that. Like in the midst of looking forward. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing for the frog-based things. I know they aren't technically frogs, but they look very froggy. They all have fly in Kings of War, but they've got very short range, so it's not really a fly, but it allows them to jump up and over.
Yeah.
Likewise, these little fellows down here, who are, because these are all plastic multi-part kits from the Kings of War range. So in this case, you're building them a spear, even though there is a crossbow option, and you're building them with javelins instead of spear. But they can fire from behind a friendly unit. They count as being taller than they are in Kings because they can jump up and chuck over.
Whee!
Exactly.
Jump up, shoot, drop down.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, height doesn't exist in Kings of War Champions. They removed height as a stat because it's a very limited game. They didn't want to add unnecessary extrapolations to the rule system to encourage people to play. So I don't know if they're still going to operate exactly the same. Because obviously you've no height stat to tell people that they count as one higher when firing from behind. Maybe they just get to ignore intervening friendlies for line of sight.
So it's more of a line of sight thing than a height thing.
Yeah. Little Axel obviously comes with his special rules along with his champion abilities, which he can palm out every turn. I can't read what they are though.
It's too far away.
Too small. Dab you, Mantic. But I think everybody and their dog's looking forward to this. I already have a Trident Realm army, but I did order 2 more Trident Realm armies last night because somebody was selling stuff off cheap. I was like, I'll just have them as well. So once this arrives, I'll be quids in. I'll be gripped. I'll be sorted for all my fishy froggy goodness. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how he plays for Champions as well.
I do wonder if Jerry's trying to achieve critical mass to become like a hobby black hole.
No, I know what I like, and these days if I like something I buy it, because then that way it can't suddenly be discontinued.
It's
or the
charity shop
go away.
If you see something and you like it, buy it now because it will be gone by the time you go back. So
we all know what happened with Star Wars night models.
Yes.
Suddenly some bearded old guest decided he was going to sell to Disney for $3 billion and took all the IPs and licenses back, and I missed quite a lot of those models because I didn't realize they were going to vanish literally overnight.
Yeah.
So these days, best get in when you see what you want, and everybody wants Axel Tricklebrook. We're all
I do think he goes all the time. He's very Morlockian. Murlockian, sorry.
Yeah. Like I say, he's a caster. He will be getting Rules and Kings at some point in not too distant. Nice. I imagine in the Clash of Kings book, which is normally post-September. Well, September's Clash of Kings. We'll hear about it then. October, November time, that normally comes out. So I expect all of the champions to wind their way into Kings of War proper at that point. The fact that he has woken up after 1,000 years, having no idea what's going on. Roddy has said all of the champions are going to form the basis of the story pushing forward. They're going to be the main thrust of the narrative. So what these little tinkers are up to in Champions now are going to obviously show where the story and game is going to go in the future. So if you're after some froggy fun, pre-order now. It should be with you in, I think, 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's not long. Yeah,
very cool. Fancy. And sticking with fantasy.
Mm-hmm. So the good folks over at War Games Atlantic have once again unleashed upon the world a gigantic and mighty box of dwarves in 10 mil.
Yeah.
So it's huge and it's massive and it's wonderful, but it's also very, very small.
It's squat, yeah. But they do have knees.
Come back to Bijou, Boston.
Well, the cool thing with this, so 10 mil dwarf, classic fantasy battle box, Dwarven host, you are going to be getting 246 figures in one box. Basically, the guts of a full army. Now, inside the box, we are seeing dwarves armed in all manner and fashion. So between hammers, axes, sword and board, crossbows are in there. You've even got some cavalry in there, some ram riders.
Mm-hmm.
So really, really nice. You've got everything you need as well because you've got all of your commands in there. You've got your musicians, and they just look at them be cute. They're so nice. They've got that really classic Tolkien-esque look to them, which I'm loving. They're all just rocking around in like long chainmail, the little helms on them, just looking really,
with added
really
wings.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You particularly like winged helms, Ben. I forgot that.
Yes.
And
there's the
even
antithesis to Lloyd, who hates winged helms. So
they should be wing appropriate when used. The
opera thing.
Yeah, yes.
And you even get a few dead folks in there as well. So if you want to do base dressing or marking, this is dead. This is dead, or as an objective marker. Yeah. But tiny and cute, and they'll match in really well. I believe they already did an orc host, was it?
Yeah,
done orc. Undead's coming. Horse lords are coming.
So the way that they've done it is that there's the two boxes that they've done so far. So the orc horde and the dwarven host are designed as essentially your core element of your army. So they come with that myriad of different unit choices. So you get things like the spears, the swords, the axes, the crossbows, the ram riders, your command figures, and your casualties and things like that. And that crosses between, the orcs and the dwarves. But then subsequent boxes that will come out in the future are going to be more focused on a particular unit. So when they do things like the bone blades, so the skeletons, they're going to be just your rank and file infantry. Then they'll do cavalry as a separate box set.
Yeah, half sprues
and that kind of thing. And that's because the way that they're doing classic fantasy battles is a little bit like the Oathmark method of building armies, where it's good versus evil. And so when you build an army, you take different elements of good, if you want, obviously, and build them together into one force, and the same with evil. So then the other box sets will be slightly smaller in terms of numbers of units and things like that, but you will get stuff that you can bolt onto your good forces as you go through. I think these are amazing. I really like the detail on them. I think you could easily paint these up stupidly quickly with speed or contrast paints or something.
Oh yeah. The speed paints are your best friend on this one.
Yeah.
The biggest issue that people have come with is the shields.
Yes.
It is very much the Marmite issue on this. You can see there, that's a relatively regular shield on that rider.
Yes.
But you can see on the infantry. It's
yes.
It's very big. And I don't know.
Deep.
Yeah. I can live with it for 10 mil plastics.
Yep.
If it was really annoying me so much, I would apply a knife or Dremel
and just
to the back of it and just cut it off. The problem there is they've painted it all metallic. If they just painted the back of that black,
you wouldn't.
You wouldn't notice
so
it so
more
much.
of a silhouette.
Yeah. But that is, if that's a deal breaker for you, so be it. However, considering the amount of unit types in there, so crossbow, two-handed weapons, hand weapon and shield, and spear, it's got everything you need. And then having the cavalry options really good as well.
Yeah.
So I'd just be fascinated to see what else comes down the line. But yeah, just having the 10mm army boxes are cracking.
Yeah.
One box, 2 boxes is all you really need to get your hands on. And you're sorted for pretty much any game.
I hear that the rules aren't too far off either.
That's
so
good.
we should be getting something like an alpha or a beta
I must
soon,
pick up the samurai rules.
Mm.
Because they are, I don't know if they're going to be the same. But
Interesting.
we've seen enough of what classic fantasy is as far as list design and unit building goes and that sort of thing. So when I see the samurai rules, if they're modeled in a similar way, then it'll at least go, oh, well, that is going to be how classic fantasy is going to work. So probably the rest is going to be the same. I can't remember. I have a sneaking suspicion Charlie told me they had been done independently. So they may not be, but they may share some collaborative DNA between it.
Yeah, because I think Hobdy's working on the classic fantasy battle rules, I think.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, he is. So, for example, I mean, that unit is a mix of various things. And that's one of the things for classic fantasy is that your units can be pure. So they can be all spear, all crossbow, all whatever, and you get certain bonuses. But you can also go hand weapon shield. There's two-handed weapons, and then there's spear at the back, which is viable. So you can have sort of mixed by rank, mixed by file, or pure units. So, you know, you've got pros and cons for different troop types within units, which makes a lot of sense for samurai battles in particular, because samurai didn't fight in here's block of spear, here's block of essentially nobles would rock up with their force of whoever, you know, some bow, some spear, some sword, a few retainers, and they would fight as their own little collective. Whereas we as wargamers always go block of samurai, block of Ashiguru spear, block of none of that. So there's very few rule sets that model mixing units like that particularly well. So I quite like that, and that's why I'm also thinking possibly the samurai rules will be the same, because obviously they have samurai already.
We'll have to wait
anyway.
Yeah.
And knowing War Games Atlantic, they release stuff at a rate of knots, so you won't have to wait long if there's maybe something else you're waiting on coming down the pipeline.
Who knows where that will go? As Hudson continues on his epic quest to release, I don't know if you know this, his plan is to get to a point where they're releasing a box a week, a sprue a week.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, because they're already at like 1 a month, 2 a month.
Yeah.
He wants to be able to be going 50 a year. Maybe they'll take time off for Christmas and Thanksgiving. I don't know.
Oh, it's your birthday. No, you got to work, son.
Unstoppable machine that is War Games Atlantic.
My word.
Hudson spending all the time out there whipping people. Anyway, so yes, I think that's enough news. We'll pause for now and take a look at some Kickstarters.
Did you win one of our prizes? Find out on our prize claim center over at OnTableTop.com. Here we list all our previous prizes and those who have won. If you see your username, fill out the form to claim your prize. All prizes must be claimed within 30 days.
All right, we stay with the fantastical.
Yay!
As we take a look at our first Kickstarter from Warp Miniatures.
Yes. So, Warp Miniatures are back on Kickstarter with a tiny, in many senses of the word, Kickstarter campaign that is looking to fund the creation of a brand new starter warband for use in their whimsically wonderful fantasy game, which is ArcWorlde. In this case, we are heading into the jungles, and we're exploring the world of the Gremlins. It feels like this has been done by the same person who did the orcs one for that. For Mike Hutchinson's game.
Yes.
But yes, so this is a brand new starter warband for use in ArcWorlde. The Gremlins are their own little tiny sort of corner of the world. And within this, you get some sneaky fellows. You get the Great Gremlin, who will be leading the way for this set, alongside 7 Gremlin scamps, where you're sort of fodder, for want of a better word, and the Spit Lizard, because the Gremlins from ArcWorlde have this nice thing where they can tame and take control of creatures and things that they capture and use them against you on the tabletop, which is a nice little addition, I think, as well, and helps fill in some of the blanks in their CV, because they're only little and they're not very strong, and some of them are incredibly small, as you can see there.
Well, there's one of them appears to be buried in the ground.
Yes, because he's bursting out of a hole. Yeah, so one of the things they have mechanically is that they have their own set of unique mechanics, as do all of the factions for ArcWorlde. In this case, they have little hidden tunnels that they can set up on the board, and they will burst out of those and attack you, but they also very much focus on hit and run style tactics. So they run in, they job you, and then they run away. Like a mugger in Birmingham. And then,
jeez.
And then the tying it all together is the Great Gremlin. So the Great Gremlin has this kind of like boasting mechanic where he like runs in and tries to smack somebody, and if he smacks them well, then everyone else around him is like, yay! And they're all sort of G'd up. But if he does it and he fails, he kind of makes an ass of himself, and all the other gremlins are like, oh, well, you're crap.
I will say, some of the designs are very Crash Bandicoot with the masks.
Yeah, they do have that. They do have that sort of vibe to them, which I quite like. Mm-hmm. All of the models in the set are available as either metal or resin. So depending on what material you prefer, you can just dive in and choose whichever works for you. They've also included a whole bunch of add-ons and stretch goals and that kind of stuff as part of this campaign. So you can get your hands on things like the Jungle Troll, who is very orangutangy, yes. He wants to be like you, ooh. You've also got the Shaman, the Carven Head, which is really nice. The Death Kiwis are back, which I absolutely love. And there's also a community sculpted Gremlin scamp that they're going to work on. So the various elements of the scamp and how he looks will be voted on by the community and those people who've backed the Kickstarter. And then that will be what's brought to the tabletop, which I think is quite nice. As well as getting your hands on the Gremlins, you can also get your hands on all of the rules for them as well. So everything is totally free. So you can go and grab the core rules for ArcWorlde. You can get the Warband builder. You can go and find out more about the Gremlins and start playing games with them now if you wanted, just using some things as substitutes to see whether or not you like the rules. They've also given you the chance to go in and get your hands on a whole bunch of the other starter warbands for ArcWorlde as well. So this is your first time looking at this game. You can go and get your hands on things like the Overlords, the Wizards, the Elves. My God, the Elves look cool. And everything else in between. You can get yourself the physical rulebook, as you can see there nicely, which is very good. I love the look of that. It's beautiful. Like a little notebook type thing. You could. It feels like you should be doodling in it.
Feel free.
As you can see, there's even doodles in there already. The game itself, if you've not heard of ArcWorlde, is really nice. It's very sort of communal in the way that it plays. So you set up, you decide what kind of scenarios you're going to play. It might be a troll hunt or a dragon hunt or something like that. Or maybe you're just going to go around pilfering crystals and all sorts of things. Maybe you're doing a raid on a town or some halflings in their lovely shire. And then mechanically, you sort of dive in, very simple mechanics. And it's a lot of kind of like back and forth between you and the other player. So I think I've mentioned this before as well, but say you want to like pick up a tree and throw it at somebody, where you work out the mechanics for how that would work between you, and then you roll some dice, which I think is very nice. So it's a whimsical, wonderful world full of actually quite dark and terrible things as well.
Isn't that like life?
But Alex from Warp has been working on ArcWorlde for many, many years and has turned it into an absolutely beautiful game and a beautiful range of miniatures that, even if you're not going to war game with them, are just wonderful to paint. So, yeah, go and check them out and see what you think. And if you want to see more about it, Jerry did an unboxing. So you can go and check them out and see what you think up close, which is very cool.
They're particularly nice. I quite like the Gremlins insofar as because they're cave-dwelling little chuds. They have one of the keys of their faction or their warband is that they have an affinity for taming animals, hence the spit lizards and the death kiwis. But there is a or anything they can find. And Warp have an awful lot of weird and wacky and big creatures.
Floating undead whales, dragons, numerous trolls and giants.
If not friend, why friend shaped?
So it's very much a case of if you fancy having a big hitter to account for the fact that your gremlins are, let's face it, going to get eaten.
Yes.
Probably by something they're attempting to tame. Then you can certainly back them up with something absolutely massive. I also quite like the fact that you've got the metal and resin options.
Yes.
The resin's really
whenever
nice.
The price of a new creature for your warband is Lives of Goblin, that is your currency.
Which are easily fulfilled.
Don't mind feeding goblins to things, as long as gremlins aren't getting killed in it. Goblins are part of my warband.
Yeah. And then you could team them up with the orcs and have some more fun.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. But yeah.
Good in the hood.
28 days left on that from when you're watching this. So plenty of time for you to get stuck in and maybe have your say on those votes, the community models as well. So,
and funded already.
Oh, yes.
Very nice.
And speaking of funded, Mantic are out and about doing some board game fun with Assassin's Creed Animus. So this is I suppose technically a board game.
Yeah.
Although you would not be incorrect to say card game as well.
True.
It's a blend of both.
Deck builder, tableau builder kind of thing.
Yeah. The idea behind it is it takes the Animus as the central conceit of the Assassin's Creed series, which allows them to pull in all of the characters from all of the Assassin's Creeds thereof. And essentially it's just a race to murder your way to 4. The first person to murder 4 targets within their chosen time period wins. However,
not exactly.
Well, they end the game. Let's put it like that. And once the game ends, then you may or may not discover that you have won, depending on how good you were and how your opponents have absolutely screwed you over.
Right.
That is the big, massive box of, look at me, I've got all the big stuff. So yes, the game is set up with a dashboard. The dashboard is unique and asymmetric. So each of the assassins plays differently. And when you're playing, you move through your little sort of life path, I think they call it, which does different things. So you might move to a section that says draw a card, or you might move to a section that says you can do something else and then allows you to move on. Each of the cards will either be a bit of equipment for you, or a target to kill, or something to inhibit you. Now, these decks get mixed with all of your opponent's decks as well. So whenever cards are drawn, you might be drawing one of your own cards, in which case if you're drawing a target, you're going, oh, happy days, I'll put that on my own deck. If you draw an opponent's target, you don't want to give them that because that puts them closer to victory. So having to choose between the cards that come out and see, can you get something for yourself? Yes, great. And if not, how best can you stifle your opponent to actually stop them from progressing or completing their little things themselves? So there's a real competitive aspect. Everybody turns nasty in very short order. And you see somebody starting to creep ahead and you're going, you know what? I will absolutely shaft you the next turn, as will everybody else. But some of the best things that you can use to get into them, the Animus cards themselves, which do things like increase the required challenge level, and your opponent won't get to find out whether or not you're going to play them until they've started the challenge. Then it's like, I'm going to play this, I'm going to play this. But you don't start drawing those until somebody has killed a target. So once somebody has killed a target, then the player to their left draws one. So as other people around the table start to be better, then the other people all get a hand's worth of these cards to start absolutely screwing them over.
So it's got a little bit of a sort of like catch-up-y rubber band mechanic type thing in there.
It may not help you catch up. It may just stop them getting further ahead.
I see.
Yeah, and it may throw in the desync tokens for the end of the game, where that'll start to drag them back down along that victory tracker. So it's not exactly a take that mechanic. It's more of a, I'm going to inhibit you to make you take minus points, but even then on the dashboards, there's ways to move those around to other players.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
so
instead of
just elements in there.
Yeah, but so say you get like a desync with a 5 on it, it's just like, I really don't want that. Jerry, you've already killed like 2 people, so I should probably send that across to you to sort of drag you back a bit.
Oh, okay. That's neat.
Yeah. The desync tokens are a big feature, as they are here, because while there are 5s, there are 1s, there are some that are blank, your opponents will know that you've got a lot of desync. They won't know until the end of the game when you flip them all over, and they are negatives to your victory points as to how badly you've been affected. You could be sitting there with more than anybody else at the table. They could all be blanks and 1s.
Blanks and 1s.
And
I really like that in board games where that is only revealed at the very end, because it gives kind of things a crescendo to the event, which is always nice. Yeah.
That, and for me, my favorite thing is each of the assassins having such a different play style.
Yeah.
So, Altair, he's very much about get his base equipment, start drawing, start making the kills pretty quickly. Then you look to someone like Connor from Assassin's Creed 3, where it's, build out that homestead. I've only got 2 locations to assassinate people, but if I need to take a moment to recenter myself, I go through that homestead path. If I've built it up, and I get a lot of bonuses there, and then go again. So it's really different between each of the assassins from what I've seen, which is why I'm so tempted.
And with it being 4-player, and there being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different eras, that's a lot of, maybe more. That's quite a lot of fun stuff to play with.
I mean, things like Assassin's Creed 2 and 3, because they list all the Assassin's Creeds that you can play, but 2 and 3 are the same assassin.
Oh, right, of course, yes.
So
Ezio,
yeah. But there's a good example, and this is how boards are kind of laid out, but they're not always the same. So you'll have 3 areas within your particular era, and they are where your targets will appear. And then you've got the life path on the bottom, and you can travel in the direction of the arrow. So certain ones are easier to reach than others, and certain boards are easier to navigate. But, for example, I was playing Connor. I only have 2 locations. The third location is a homestead that allows me to remove... it allows to do a few tweaky things with game mechanics. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, it means I'm only ever going to get targets at the second and third location, which means theoretically it would have been easier for me to get my targets if we'd ever actually drawn any. Well, we drew a few, but there was an awful lot of time where I'm going, there's just nobody out there for me to kill. So I'm just going to spend my time making everybody else's life miserable by putting guards and false memories and dogs.
Going on the hunt and passing your desync tokens out.
Yeah. So because sometimes you can go around on a path and you've got different ways of removing your desync. And at the same time, you can also get your hands on equipment, which is mostly burnt very quickly. So a few things can sort of lurk around for a little while. But you're using things like the hidden blade that gives you a bonus to your fight and a bonus to your stealth. And they are equipped in limited numbers. So if you pick up some really nice stuff, you may end up having to go, well, I'm going to have to junk this because I can't retain it. Like I say, the memory cards are the big one. So these decks, every game board comes with a set of memory cards and then the bust of the individual assassin. And that's what the big box has got all the drawers for. So you can just have all your tokens and pull it out. But when you're playing, depending on who you're playing with, you'll each pull out your own memory card deck and they all get shuffled into one massive stack. So everybody's drawing from it. So you don't know whether you're going to be drawing your cards or your opponent's. And then, like I say, it's up to you to hopefully put challenges in the way. If you can't actually put targets into play for yourself, and worst comes to worst, then you're going to have to put a target in for your opponent. But even then, you can sort of stack them into one area. So if there's already 2 or 3 guards in Jerusalem protecting somebody, then put another target behind that. Don't put it in the accessible, easy to get to places. So it plays incredibly quickly. I'll say that. I mean, I think Jack and Ronnie, we started playing with John, and it took about 5 minutes for me to go, oh, this is how it that's really simple. Oh yeah, let's just crack in.
Nice.
The speed of pickup is fantastic. And I think because everybody's like a little asymmetric monkey, and you can mess around with who you've got and how those boards behave for each of the assassins means every time you play, even if you choose to play the same assassin every time,
it could go very differently.
It can go very, very differently depending on the card drawers. But as a game that allows you to mess around and absolutely hamper your friends, it's got a lot of fun behind it. So yeah, obviously, if you know a lot about Assassin's Creed, you'll get a lot more out of it. I don't. I've only ever played the original, but that didn't stop me enjoying the game because mechanically it just flows beautifully. So I didn't know who Connor McLeod or the Clan McLeod was running around. I'm assuming that's who it is. Who else would be called Connor?
There can only be one of him, so yeah.
That was his non-native name.
Yeah, but if you could swap your assassin every time and learn the sort of the intricacies of everybody's dashboard to a greater or lesser extent, and sometimes you'll be going, well, this tactic worked really well this game because my opponent had a lot of desync tokens or whatever, and I was constantly passing more to them. And then the next time you play, maybe they're not as desync heavy, so that particular feature of the dashboard you're not going to or you're not using because there's no point. So you have to adapt your strategy to the cards that are being played and to the things that come out for you. So.
Yeah, but you are always doing something with a bit of value to it as you're moving through the dashboard, which is something I like. There's no like dead zones on it where it's just like, oh, I'm doing this just because it's a chod move. I don't want to do anything with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to play Kenway. I'm going to play Kenway from Black Flag all the time. Ivor's cool, but Kenway all the way.
It's the way to do it. They've even unlocked some Kickstarter exclusive busts. The pledge levels are fairly simple. They have the standard Initiates Pledge one, which is the core game, 65 quid. That gives you your 4 different assassins and then whatever other bits and pieces get unlocked throughout this. And then there's the all singing, all dancing
Master Assassin,
Assassin, which has all the bells and whistles and comes with all the little trays and bits and pieces. So if you want the complete set, it's 35 quid more. And that gets it all in. And that's you. 1 and done / 2 and done.
By which you mean Justin's buying this.
Don't, Ronnie, goddamn you.
Go on, do it. It'll make you happy.
It's not my happiness I'm worried about. It's my other half maybe cutting me.
You can't make an omelette without breaking some eggs. There's 90 days left, and it's already funded. So if you're interested in Assassin's Creed, quid's in on it.
Watch our Let's Play as well.
Yeah. If you're not an Assassin's Creed fan, but like board games or sort of multiplayer games, this is one to check out because setup time is literally a minute. You're playing within 2. You could be done within half an hour and laughing at your friends.
And it's not incredibly lore heavy.
You can burn through these games very quickly and have an awful lot of fun and mix and match things throughout the evening. So for just gamers in general, a lot of fun behind it. Excellent. If you want to paint your bust, you can. Go nuts. Yeah. Right. I think we should have some more news.
Even more news, bitches.
Okay then, more news you say?
Oh yeah.
Well, let's visit the Silver Bayonet. Because Mr. McCullough has been resting on his laurels. I mean, it's
far too long.
It's been weeks since he released a new game, hasn't it?
Oh, come on. Surely he's been down the rules mines.
Well, considering that he does all his play testing in his head, I assume that he just lies back on like a sofa or something and just like computes like data or something.
Works for me.
Going in his memory warehouse.
Yeah. But yes, so the Silver Bayonet. We knew that the Bones of Albion, a new supplement, was coming out. It's only a couple of weeks away at this point. And the folks over at North Star are once again doing the miniatures for the game. This supplement for the game. In this case, with the Bones of Albion, we're getting some British-style folks to throw onto the tabletop.
Coppers.
We're doing an accent now.
There's someone prowling around here.
The theme behind Bones of Albion is that the undead started to make themselves known. All those restless corpses have been let out of their barrows and their graveyards, and someone is doing something sneaky behind the scenes, all while on the other side of the sea, Napoleon is plotting his invasion of Britain. And so you have been sent with your hunters to try and deal with as many of these undead problems and put an end to it before you get attacked on two fronts. Couldn't have that happening to Sharp, although he'd just kick all their asses.
Yeah, that's true.
Bollocks. So, yeah. But yes, diving into this one, we have some wonderful new miniatures. So we have the Bow Street Runners. So they are the ones that we were just looking at there, who are the kind of police before the police were a thing,
Yes.
I suppose, for you to use. So you can have them running around, knocking people out, chasing after undead zombies on the streets of London.
Yeah, they
Or
look like bully
somewhere else.
boys.
Yeah, well, pretty much so. Yeah, so you've got them to play around with. You've got your civilians. So when you're playing your games of Silver Bayonet, you will always need somebody who's in peril. And these folks look like they are in peril. So you go and hunt them down. Make sure they don't get dragged off by some terrible, terrible creature.
You too can replay Pride and Prejudice zombies on the
You
tabletop.
can. Oh my God, can we have a wet t-shirt version of one of these? Mr. Darcy. Oh. Someone's got to do that with see-through painting. Yeah. So yes, you've got some awesome civilians there as well. And then of course, because this is the undead supplement, we're seeing some very nice new skeletal soldiers coming out as well. In this case, you can see some Saxons who have been raised from their barrows to go and do some terrible, terrible things to people as they raid and pillage once more.
Oh,
Because
should
maybe
be
these
fine.
aren't the nice Saxons. Maybe these are the bad Saxons. I mean, most people were bad Saxons, but there we go. Not as bad as the Vikings. Bad Vikings. Or evil Normans. Boo! But yes, North Star have said that they're going to be doing Saxons, Vikings, all sorts of other different things as well for this range, and it's going to be done as part of a big new pre-order for this. So you'll be able to dive in, get your hands on the book, and a whole host of new miniatures that you'll be able to use as part of the campaign. It is a full-on competitive campaign that they've included as part of Bones of Albion. So this will be a traditional one for the Silver Bayonet, where you'll be taking on the role of your two bands of hunters, going out to try and, defeat evils, secure grimoires, battle the undead, and all sorts of different things in the name of your particular nation.
Slap the harvester
So, yes.
back in its hole.
Yeah. Maybe you're playing as the French and you're actually over there trying to sort of sow the seeds of invasion and maybe even use the undead to your own will.
Well, ideally,
your own
you'd like to be
whims.
sowing
So-
dragon's teeth if you want to get
Well, that's
skeletons
true.
to come up.
Yes. Yeah.
How
Yeah,
do we
we all know that's
invade
the
the
recipe.
English? We send the necromancer. We smuggle him in.
Exactly. Yes. Maybe he comes on a boat. Oh, Dracula-esque.
Mm.
Who thought it?
London Whitby.
Yeah, Landon Whitby. Back some skeletons on the beach. But these miniatures are going to be coming very soon. A lot of the time when they do these figures, they are nailed on for the particular scenarios. So you'll probably find that a lot of the stuff that they've done here fits in specifically with scenarios that come in the book. So you'll be able to buy along with the scenarios you play and build up your collection as you go through. And then beyond that, of course, you can use them for the sandbox that is the Silver Bayonet. However, that's not all, because, as is the way with everything, leaks happen, especially on Amazon. And so we got to see the next book that's coming out for the Silver Bayonet, which will be coming from TC Stephen, who has been working on the Silver Bayonet in the past as well. And this will be where we're heading to Venice. Cool. And this is The Alchemist's Legacy. Included in this book, as I say, teasers and leaks, will be a full solo campaign, but also a competitive one in there as well. And in this, you'll be delving down into the underworld of Venice, where you'll be looking to seek out grimoires and other relics that have been hoarded by the peoples there to use against terrible new foes that we don't know yet, but terrible new foes that are waiting.
Give me some fishy deep ones.
Yes. So maybe if you have lots of Carnivale stuff lying around, this would be a great chance to throw some of those monsters into the mix for your collection here.
All your cultists.
And I would imagine, since this is another supplement coming out next year, we're going to see North Star doing even more miniatures to go out alongside this one as well. So lots of fun still to be had within the world of Silver Bayonet. As I say, lots of people working on this alongside McCullough to make it a reality. And if you've not tried it before, it is perfect for somebody who is like, I quite like the Napoleonic period, but I don't want to collect a massive army of things. Well, why don't you go down the pulp route, the sharp route, and pick up some of these miniatures and use them to kind of get your toe into the world of Napoleonics. And then from there, you only have to paint a handful of minis and some monsters, and away you go.
Yeah. And every time you get a crappy roll, you can just go,
Bastard, yes.
I
want that on a dice with one, just a bastard. And it's just Sharp's face.
I have a set of those dice somewhere, but it's a D6.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's handy to have.
Wonderful.
Oh man, someone needs to do those for Peachy. Yeah.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure there's plenty of them out there.
Yeah. There we go.
Sweet to the beat.
Fun stuff for Silver Bayonet.
Right. That's an amazing amount of gaming news this week.
Yes.
Now, there's something for the children, I suppose.
I'm so excited.
I was going to mute you.
And I just can't hide it. So, with the release of the definitive edition of Dawn of War, we are now seeing Dawn of War 4. Which,
bam!
The reason I am excited is, for once, they've listened to the internet and they are going back to basics, back to the old school look, feel, and style of gameplay of the original Dawn of War, which is point capturing, base building, armies upon armies upon armies, mashing, crashing, slashing, and murdering each other. I could not be happier. We're going to be seeing 4 key factions for the beginning, the initial offering of this game. So we're going to have our Space Marines, Blood Angels are back. We're going to be seeing our Orcs because, Orky goodness has to be there. Necrons because of our last faction, which is the Mechanicus, because I can only assume the Mechanicus landed on the planet, did their techie thing, woke up the Necrons, the Orcs saw a good fight, came in, and then they went, Space Marines help? That's the normal storyline for these games.
Yeah, it was quite interesting listening to some of the developers talk about this. So the Games Workshop actually suggested that they place this on Kronos, which is one of the planets from one of the earlier games in the series. And it's on the other side of the rift, so it makes sense with the Blood Ravens being over there, sort of like separated from everybody else. And in the, I think it's the sort of canon ending to one of the games, Kronos is secured by the Blood Ravens and the side of Order, essentially, which obviously pissed off the Necrons. And so they're kind of back to kind of settle the score, as you say there, Justin. So, yeah, very cool.
Now, there are a couple of key things. So, with this being a new game, I know, Ben, you love your sync kills, but they've taken that next level because it's actually during the fighting, units are going to be syncing up as they're going. I've seen some footage where a Redemptor Dreadnought crushes an Orc, reaches back up, grabs another one, but an Orc comes in with an axe, hits it in the wrist, and as it's picking up that Orc to kill it, the other one with the axe in the wrist is just flung up and around with it. So the actual
cool.
the fighting and the way the animation is going to look is going to be a lot more smooth, but also really chaotic. One thing I'm worried about, I've watched a few people talk about this. Apparently, they have removed the builder units.
Yes,
which is
you
very
just bring down
interesting.
Buildings as and when you want.
Yeah,
cool.
But that's going to be very interesting tactically for some people, because I used to play against people and they loved killing your build units because it just, instant hindrance to your ability to advance and move forward. So that tactic, if that's the way they run with it, is going to be dead, and you're going to have to figure out new stuff. I love the idea that they've updated all the units are like the more modern range of workshop units now. So you'll have the Redemptor Dreadnought, you're going to have your Intercessors, all that good stuff. But as well as that, the drop pod ability and the reinforcement ability is really going to change up how you're playing through the game. And it just looks gorgeous, I have to say. It looks gorgeous. One question, though. I have seen Imperial Guard units. Why are they not a playable faction? The units are there. The models are there.
They're probably going to take the Winter Assault thing, and they're going to be like, we'll put Imperial Guard or Astra Militarum or whatever in the game as units, and then we'll include them as the first expansion to the game. Will probably be what happens. So,
well, this was the discussion I was having with Shay. With these 4 first factions in there with 4 full campaigns, is it something we're going to see further down the line where it's you'll download a faction or 2 factions and have their campaign folded in, or will they just become like multiplayer additions to the game? So I'm very curious. I'm very hopeful. But it's one we're going to have to wait and see on. And I see Jerry has completely zoned out.
But yes, just to sort of cap off on all of that as well. I think there's going to be, I think they said they're going to do 4 big branching campaigns. So you can play as every single one of the factions.
Yep.
All of them will have their full campaign for you to dive into.
Yes.
They're going to have the army painter back in there too. There'll be full multiplayer support. The last stand mode's coming back as well.
Ooh.
So the hero one where you can bring another unit with you, just kind of like boost you up, is going to be back. And there's going to be returning voice actors.
Good. Well, we have seen Cyrus.
We have seen Cyrus.
Who has been primarified. That's a word now.
Yeah.
It's going on the dictionary.
So yeah, coming 2026 as well, so not that far away.
Mm-hmm. I am dying to get a chance at this. So if anybody knows any of the developers out there, hi, I volunteer as tribute.
But yeah, Dawn of War 4. I said it was coming. I said it last week.
You called it. You called it.
Did you bet on it? Should have went down to Paddy Bar, mate. Made yourself a few quid.
Yeah.
I would have got you sorted.
Well, I'd say they're going to make a fair few quid off of this one because it's one of those great, well-known IPs and like series of games. So I'd say, this one's going to go great guns, and I'm hoping it does really well. Really, really hoping it does well. I'm not going to invest emotionally too heavily so I don't get disappointed because it's happened too often.
But yeah, fun stuff on the horizon. Very cool.
I play solitaire sometime on my PC.
Minesweeper.
So in many respects, I'm just like you guys with your Dawns of Wars.
Yeah.
It's easier to find a deck of cards sometimes. It's very hard to lift the cushion off to play solitaire on. A lot of teas now, they're like all kind of zipped in and sort of one piece thing. Not like the old days. It's tricky.
Yeah.
Tricky. So worldofsolitaire.com. That's my recommendation for people who couldn't give a tinker's jizz about Dawn of War 4. Right. Well, that wraps us up for this week.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of fun fantasy stuff in there, though. So that was good. Liked all of that. We shall be back on Sunday for our Cult of Games XLBS over at OnTableTop.com. If you want to join us there, you can do.
We have a very, very cool indie that I'm putting out there simply to annoy Jerry. So
I'm not sure if I want to be around for that.
Before you sent me the message, we should look at this. I'd already seen it.
And discarded it from your memory bank.
Into the ether. You shall go.
For Francisco from Fighting Hedgehog is a fan of it as well. So I got pinged it a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But if people want to know what it is, join us on Sunday. If you're already a cultist, you can get a 30-day trial for gratis and let us know what you think. Otherwise, we'll see you again next Friday for more of the same. Until then, have a great week of gaming. Bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.